Senegal are African champions.
Stop. Wait. Look at that trophy. What if I told you it's not made of gold? What if I told you it's worth only $5,000 as metal? What if I told you the winning team splits $7 million between 30 players, staff, and others? Welcome to the hidden economy of the Africa Cup of Nations. And trust me, it's crazier than you think. That moment you just saw, that penalty shootout tension, 50,000 fans holding their breath, millions watching across Africa, Europe, Middle East? That's the moment every player dreams of. Captain lifts the trophy, fireworks explode, players cry with joy. But behind that glory is a money story you've never heard. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how 7 million gets split, where all that money comes from, and why are that trophy and medals not real gold. Let's uncover the truth. It starts in 1957. 70 years ago, a different world. 3 countries show up to play in the very first Africa Cup of Nations: Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia. That's it. Just 3 teams. No satellite TV, no billion-dollar broadcasters paying for rights, no sponsors, no mega corporations fighting over advertising space. None of that. A player gets called to represent his country. It's an honor, a massive honor. Representing your nation on a continental stage, that's something you tell your grandkids about. But there's a problem. There's almost no money in it. The trophy they're playing for is the Abdelaziz Abdallah Salam Cup. It's made of silver. It's beautiful, but its material value, limited. Egypt wins. They get the cup. They defend it in 1959. But then Ghana wins 3 times, 1963, 1965, 1978, and under the rules of the time, Ghana gets to keep the trophy forever. Except, one day that cup disappears. Stolen from the Ghana Football Association headquarters, just gone. A priceless piece of continental history, vanished, never found. The African Confederation learns its lesson. You can't let countries keep the original trophy. It gets lost, it gets stolen, it becomes a security nightmare. So they change the rules. The original stays locked away. You get a replica. But here's where it gets interesting. For decades, the 1960s, 70s, 80s, the prize money doesn't move. The winner gets $3,000. $3,000. That's it? For a continental championship? For the best team on an entire continent? $3,000. That's what you earn for making history. But then something changes. In the mid-1990s, the prize money jumps. $1 million. Suddenly, that's real money. By 2010, it's $1.5 million. By 2017, $4 million. By 2019, $4.5 million. By 2021, $5 million. Then 2023 happens, $7 million. From $3,000 in 1957 to $7 million in 2023. That's a 2,333x increase. This isn't just inflation. This is a different sport. This is an entirely different economy. But where is all this money actually coming from? Here's the thing about modern sports. Money doesn't appear out of nowhere. There are 3 main sources funding the Africa Cup. First, broadcasting. Millions of people in Africa are watching, millions more in Europe. The Arab world tunes in. South America catches clips. And everywhere there's an audience, there's money. TV networks pay, streaming services pay, digital platforms pay, all of them fighting for the exclusive right to show the matches. The African Confederation announced that in 2023 alone, they saw massive jumps in broadcasting revenue. We're talking tens of millions of dollars, maybe more. Second, tickets. When Ivory Coast hosted the 2023 Africa Cup, stadiums were packed, completely packed. Not at 50% capacity or 70%. We're talking 95, 98% full. That's hundreds of thousands of fans buying tickets. Tickets that cost anywhere from $20 to several $100s, depending on the match. The African Confederation reported an 800% increase in ticket sales revenue compared to previous tournaments. 800%. Third, sponsors. This is huge. Every corporation wants to be associated with the Africa Cup. Energy companies, banks, telecom giants, sports brands, they all want their logo visible. On the boards around the stadium, on the official ball, on the referee's kit, in every press conference. And they pay seriously for that visibility. The African Confederation reported that sponsorship revenue jumped by 70% from one edition to the next. $7 million to the winner. But here's the question everyone wants answered. How is that money actually divided?
The winning team gets a check for $7 million. But that check doesn't go to one player. It doesn't even go directly to the players at all. It goes to the federation. Then the coaching staff gets their cut. The manager, assistants, fitness coaches, psychologists, what's left gets divided among the players. And here's where it gets messy, because different countries do it differently. Some countries announce a fixed bonus structure before the tournament. If you reach the group stage, you get X amount. If you reach the quarterfinals, you get more. Semifinal, even more. And if you win it all, you get a massive bonus. When the team wins, those bonuses all add up, and you get paid from the prize money, from government funding, and from sponsors who are now offering deals because you just won a continental championship. Depending on the country and the deal, a player on a winning team might receive anywhere from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it gets wilder than that, because some governments don't stop at just money. Some nations get involved and they get creative. Ivory Coast in 2023, after their team won, the president personally announced bonuses, $80,000 in cash per player, plus a house, an actual house worth $80,000 per player. That's $160,000 per player just from the government, on top of whatever they got from the federation. Other countries have given land, luxury cars, government positions, official medals, and honors. In some cases, the total amount a player receives from his government and local sponsors actually exceeds what he gets from CAF's prize money.
But here's the part everyone's curious about. What about the trophy itself? What is it actually worth? The trophy that everyone sees on camera, it weighs about 3 kilograms. It's beautiful, it's iconic, it's one of the most recognizable trophies in sports. But it's not made of gold. I know, shocking, but it's true. The trophy is made of brass, a copper and zinc alloy, with a thin layer of gold plating on the outside. It's been that way since 2001, manufactured by an Italian company called GDE Bertoni. If you tried to sell that trophy as raw metal, just melting it down and selling the materials, you'd get a few $1,000s maybe. The brass core, the thin gold plating, that's it. As a historical artifact, as the iconic symbol of African football, it's worth around $150,000. But solid gold? No. Why? Because solid gold would be impractical. It would cost over $1 million just in materials. It would be too soft. Gold scratches, dents, deforms easily. A trophy that gets lifted, paraded, handled, transported, it would fall apart. So they use brass with gold plating. Durable, iconic, practical. But that's not even the weirdest part. There are actually 2 trophies. 2. The original stays locked away in a vault, only brought out for the moment of victory. That's what gets lifted, that's what gets photographed. Then there's a replica, an exact copy, that the winning federation keeps. That's the one that goes into their museum, that travels, that's displayed. So when you see that iconic image of a player lifting the trophy, that's the real one. Priceless as a historical piece, but worth only a few thousand as metal. But what about the medals, the gold medals hanging around the players' necks? They look like solid gold. They look premium. They look like they're worth serious money. You want to know what they're actually made of? Probably not solid gold. Almost certainly not. The winning team gets 30 gold medals. 30 silver medals go to the runners-up. 30 bronze go to third place. And like most metals in major tournaments, that gold medal is likely made from a cheaper base metal, copper, zinc, sometimes nickel, with a thin layer of actual gold plated over the top. If you melted down a gold medal, you might get a few tens of dollars worth of raw material. But if that medal belonged to a famous player, if Messi wore Ronaldo or a beloved African football legend, and it went up for auction, it would sell for thousands, maybe tens of thousands, not because of the medal, but because of the story attached to it.
And that's the secret that explains everything.
The real value of the Africa Cup isn't in the material. It's not in the gold plating or the trophy itself. It's in what it represents. A player lifts that trophy knowing it cost the African Confederation millions to organize, knowing that winning it will change his life, knowing that his country is proud of him, knowing that his market value just multiplied. He knows that the medal isn't worth much, but the story is worth everything. So here's my question for you. Is $7 million enough prize money for a continental tournament that generates hundreds of millions in revenue? Should the trophy and medals actually be made of solid gold and solid silver? Or is the real value in something that can't be priced? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to understand more about how sports are monetized, how stadiums generate revenue, or how athletes actually get paid, subscribe. Because these hidden economics, they're everywhere.